So you need to do that.
You know, I can't tell you how many times I have not had that problem. So thank
you.
Do you know what? We're just going live. We've been goofing around, and I'm just like, you know what? Kevin's really goofing around with voice filters. So I'm just going to go live, and hopefully we could catch some of that. So welcome, Kevin, and welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. You're so kind. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on with us. Okay, Kevin, we're just going to jump straight into the chase. 1 year ago, you made that video. Over 40, you should start a YouTube channel. Now, that has been your most popular video. 1 year ago, 759,000 views.
It's crazy.
And that was at 20,000 subscribers 1 year ago. Today, as we know, you are on 121,000 subscribers. How did that happen?
You know, I don't know. Seriously. So one thing, I'm going to be very honest. So I started YouTube in 2017. Sorry. It's a great interviewee, right? Clears his throat right as we start talking. I started YouTube in 2017. Ironically, the same year my position in television was finally eliminated. And I started YouTube. I wish I had some cool story for why I did it. I just started YouTube and just did stuff here and there. And it wasn't until I think it was around 2020, 2021. I can't remember the exact time.
Yes, April 24, 2020.
Oh, well, dang. You know me better than me.
Oh, yes. I've been studying Stephen Bartlett and write some notes before the show.
Yeah. But that's when, I mean, I had grown, I'd grown a little, but my channel got what I call audited during a conference. And a friend of mine ran the conference. And he said, hey, if you want, we're going to audit your channel. And I didn't, but I thought, yeah, why not? And so guys from vidIQ, and they were very kind. And they told me a lot of what I thought, but it was just good. And I thought, I either need to take this serious or not. So I really leaned into some more looking at search and stuff. And anyway, the channel grew here and there, but I was just kind of to a point. This takes me back to last year where I love creating, just absolutely positively enjoy it. But I just kind of felt
to create. Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of kept thinking, I don't know. What am I doing? And a friend of mine said, do you like doing tutorials? And I said, I do, but sometimes I don't want to. And I just started really thinking about, what to do. And I saw a couple of folks talking about over 40, and what clicked is that I had a conversation with Heather Torres, who used to work at Think Media. She was like the CEO, Sean is over it. And we were on a call and she said, hey, Kevin, I really think you need to lean into this age thing. And I'm like, really? Seriously? And so we started talking a little, and I have the email. I've shared it in a couple of videos. I emailed her back and I said, I don't know. I just don't think, but that seed had been planted. And I talked to a couple other folks that were like, man, you really ought to do that. You have a lot of experience and blah, blah, blah. So I did a little research to see, well, what's the audience like? Is there any, am I going to be talking to anybody? And I realized, oh yeah, there's a lot of 50 plus and 60 plus and 40 plus on YouTube using YouTube. It's not just the youngins. And I thought, I would like to be part of a community, because that's what I felt I was missing. And I thought, I'll just do the video. And so this is the truth. Like I say that like everything's going to be a lie, but seriously.
I love the way you say that. You just go, honestly, guys, it's just a little emphasis, like real talk.
Yeah. I got up that day. I'd been thinking about it, and I thought, just do the video. And I literally turned the camera on, no notes, just spoke from here and here, and just did it. And I did edit just a little of it out. And I remember thinking, yeah, there's no way I'm posting this. And I uploaded it, but I kept it. I had it scheduled. I took it off. Had it scheduled, took it off. And I was telling my wife, she was like, just put it out there. I think she was tired of me talking about it. Just put it out there.
Yeah.
So I finally just published it and moved on, thinking, oh, well, I guess I need to think of a Final Cut video to do or something, And all of a sudden it just starts getting a little traction. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't see this happening. In fact, a friend of mine said, I hope you got something else planned. I'm like, well, I don't, but let me think about it.
There's no plan B. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very different for me in so many ways. It was, I had edited. I mean, I love editing. And so I have a gift of overproducing and overthinking. And so this was the very stripped down me of just kind of talking. And when I saw that clicked, I liked that. So that was just kind of the beginning of it. But no, if there was no like, okay, this will take off, and then here's what I'll do, and then here's what I'll do. And it just, look, I'm a man of faith. It was a God thing, because I wasn't leaning into that at all. And I fought it for a long time. I still forget to ask for the senior discount when I'm out. So I could have saved a lot of money. So, but I mean, that's a very long answer, but that's why I did it. And it's completely changed everything for me on YouTube. It's opened doors. And the cool thing is, there's a great community out there of older people, and it's been great. I still get a kick out of when somebody's like 29 and they apologize for watching the video and commenting. So I'm like, well, who let you in? Show me some ID.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Get off my lawn.
ID alert. Yeah. So I was rewatching that video this morning, and I have to say, I really love, for someone, when you talk about how much you love editing, it really, really struck me just how, because what I do love is when people just use such little mild editing. They just use it so sparingly. And I don't know, I just think the whole thing was just perfect, because
thank you.
You've got all the toys, you know how to use it. And as you say, YouTube, at one stage, we're thinking, are you a Final Cut bro guy? I love that, actually, by the way. I wrote that down as a note. You know that person that you said, was it a friend of yours?
Oh, yeah.
Final Cut
Dylan
Bro.
Bates, Final Cut Bro.
What a channel name. What a channel name.
Yeah.
Genius. Yeah.
I'm in a Discord group with Dylan and some other guys, and we told him, we said, well, you can't ever try DaVinci. You'd have to be the DaVinci dude, or or something like that, the Premiere Pal. So you're kind of stuck on that path. But I've learned so much from him. He's a good guy.
Yeah. But I just thought how restrained it was, like your editing and that. For someone who you know how to use all the toys, the temptation is you can use too much, right?
Yeah. It was hard to do that for me. I mean, I know people are like, oh, really hard, and it's like, well, but you have to understand. I mean, especially coming from a world of television where almost everything we did was in 30 seconds, and depending on what we did, like when I was at the Fox station, we would have the Super Bowl every 3 years because it rotates between networks. So my boss, the general manager, I was the creative director, and every year we would get a 30-second promo for the station in the Super Bowl, which meant the sales team couldn't sell it. And we would sell those for a lot of money on local. We would meet months in advance, planning out this 30-second promo. Of course, it would, we would have a plan to what happened after that. And then, we would spend days shooting it and editing it and tweaking it and committing it to death. And so, then you come into this and it's like, I'm just going to sit down and hit record and talk. And it's like, and again, I had to fight the temptation to even edit it more than I did.
Of course.
There's only a few cuts in there.
There really, really is just a few cuts in there. Yeah.
Still in the back of my mind, I'll catch myself sometimes going, well, I'll cut that out. And it's like, I clear my throat in videos now. I don't care. I just don't care.
No. And who was that? The other podcast, is it Melissa? I want to remember her name that you were on with a couple of weeks ago. She does podcasts, and you guys were together talking about
Marsh.
Hey, what's her name? Meredith.
Meredith Marsh.
Yeah. Meredith Marsh. Yes.
Meredith's so great.
You guys, yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, lovely interview together.
Thank you.
And you were both talking about like your little proof of humanness. That you're actually intentionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and so I've developed more stronger feelings about AI over the last year to month, and one, I don't think it's just going to be the answer to everything. I don't think it's going to take everybody's jobs. I think there will be people that will lean into it recklessly and assume that it has all the answers. But the one thing it won't have is your soul and your humanity. And, you know, if you have to ask it to forget the name of something, you know, which I can do in the middle of a video. Yeah. So
I know.
But, and I like watching videos where people are just talking and sharing. I just enjoy that.
Yeah.
So I think that was another reason I kind of felt drawn to it. And of course, I'm very humbled that people still watch it, still comment it, and still feel moved by it. I just think that's neat.
Well, you know, YouTube needs to pay the bills. Google are trying to pay the bills over there. You know what I mean? So they're just going to keep that little racehorse in the race.
Oh yeah,
working for them.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And I think people sometimes forget that is that YouTube's a business. I do think it's the best platform out there, period, to learn on and create on. Far more tools than any other platform gives for people that, even if they don't want to make money, but to create and make money. But they're a business, and they make money when people watch, so they can sell ads, and they're not shy about that. So, you know, as long as you remember that, you know.
And it's free. It's free to publish videos on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a free market out here, right? Everyone get in there. All right. So I'm just going to be conscious of not like hogging your questions. So ladies, please just jump in with any questions, because you know that I can go chat a bit too quickly. So I'm just going to make space for you guys to have a chat with Kevin.
Well, I have a question. Of course, I have to clear my throat with Kevin Kolbe's on the screen. I have a question, and this comes from a good friend to all of us. Her name is Debbie Sue, and her channel is Simply Debbie Sue. I asked my friends for a good question to ask you, Kevin, and Debbie Sue suggested, and I love, years from now, what do you hope people will remember about you and your YouTube channel? I think that's a good question from Debbie Sue.
That I had good hair. You know, oh, wow. That is a great question.
If you need to ponder that and come back around, it's okay.
No, I'll just make something up.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think that far out. I really don't. I mean, here's the thing about YouTube is, you know, you can create things that will be seen months, years later. There was a guy that just commented on a video I did a year ago, and he's just like, how come I'm just now finding this? So the beauty is, if I'm putting something out there that helps one person just do something, if they can see like, well, that Willie Nelson looking dude, you know, he can do it, I can do it. Okay, then I'm good with that. So, you know, that's the thing. So nothing more than that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's the first thing, actually. My husband just said Willie Nelson's little brother, like this dude, because my husband has got long hair that he wears back in a ponytail. So I love the way that you talk about your hair in your videos.
Somewhere I want to believe that people go to Willie Nelson and go, dang, you look just like Kevin Kolbe. But,
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I've seen you somewhere before.
Yeah. Are you on YouTube? And he's like, what?
All right. We've got Simply Just Krista asking us, Kevin, you mentioned that your life has changed since starting YouTube. Can you elaborate on a personal and business level? How so?
Well, you know, from a business level, I've had some brand deals that maybe got a little bigger, but I want to say that with an asterisk is that, you know, I was working with StreamYard when I had way under 1,000 subscribers. And the reason I think that's important is that a lot of sponsors, they're more interested in who you're connecting with and what you're talking about. They're not really looking at the analytics, and the ones that get caught up in that, they're probably not the ones you want to work with. And I say that with an asterisk. But my coaching, the coaching has really taken off because more and more people have, you know, booked a call, and which is really cool because you get to help people where they are. Mm-hmm. And it's, you know, it's opened up some other doors too for just doing some different things. You know, AdSense, which can come and go, you know, as the channel's grown, it's gone up some, but you know, it dips, and there's other niches that earn more, which I would never recommend somebody get into any type of niche just because it might earn more, because you just never know. But from a personal standpoint, it's just I've met more people, because as the channel has grown and more people view it and continue to find it, they'll reach out to me in email, or I don't really do the socials that much anymore, but email or through the website or something like that. And I've been able to connect with some cool people that I would have never known. So things like that, other opportunities as well, just whether it's, like this. I mean, a year from now, a year ago, you guys would have okay, who's that dude? And so at least you wanted to have me on. And I don't say that in an arrogant way, but it's just opened up a lot of doors that way. And it's also given me, I think, more freedom to experiment more. Because it's easy when you're starting out, it's like, I've got to do everything right. And the reality of it is there's 1,000 different ways to do YouTube, and there's a lot of right things you can do, and there's a lot of wrong things, but there's no perfect way. It just drives me nuts. These people out there that teach this is the way to do it. And it's like, no, it is a way to do it. It's not the way to do it, because for everything you want to show me about the way, I'll show you 5 channels that don't follow any of that, and they're doing pretty good.
Yeah. So Rob the Maritimer.
So anyway,
exactly.
But good question.
Yeah,
I may not have any good answers, but that was a good question.
No. These are your answers and your experience. That's the right answer. And Rob the Maritimer, I think he is so good at emphasizing that again and again and again. My experience is this has worked for me, but you need to experiment and do your thing too, because otherwise it just causes so much angst, doesn't it? Like in comments and all of that.
Yeah, I mean,
quite hung up on it.
This is my belief. There's only a handful of absolutes on YouTube, period. If you don't publish a video and make it public, nobody's going to see it. It has to have a title of something. And if you don't believe it, the next time you upload a video, don't put anything in that little title box and it'll go red. And YouTube will say, well, you got to add something. Now you could add, blah, 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 and they're going to say, okay, thanks. And it has to have a thumbnail.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I might try that. And it has to have a thumbnail that YouTube will pick for you. Other than that, there's a lot that, might work, might not. Just it's too many people are looking for those buttons. You just click that. Oh, there we go. That just unlocked it for everybody. Well, if it was that easy, everybody would be unlocking it. Just think about that. So.
Yeah, exactly right. We've got another couple. Does someone want to jump in with another question while I look up another QQQ?
I would like to say that I started watching you when you were quite a bit smaller than you are now.
You mean in height or channel size?
It was both, Kevin. It was both. But what drew me to your channel was because you showed like kind of the inside, like this is where I'm filming right now. Here's my desk. Here's my camera that's always here. Here's my mic that's always here. But you don't have to do this. You can use your phone. Yep. And I don't like to use my phone, but it made it okay to use the big equipment. I don't have big equipment, but big, fancy, expensive equipment, or back to your phone. Both of them work. Mm-hmm. And then you would give us little snippets of, this was my career before. This is what all these things mean to me on the wall and on this shelf. And then I found out that you had a special needs son in a wheelchair, and you have a specially designed backyard for him. You were home more to help your wife with daily life that I'm sure she needs help and appreciates it. And it gave me the feeling of just wanting to know more, and seeing your success just keep growing and growing and growing. And you're really doing a lot right. And I think most of us do, but I know I aspire to be like that.
Well, I appreciate it. What else? First of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's funny. It's always weird when somebody repeats back things you say and stuff like that. It's like, it's weird. I don't know. Not that you're weird. It's just, you never know.
I'm weird.
It's like,
it is weird.
Oh, okay.
I'm weird.
She's got 3 channels, and she's got a bird called Chloe that may well just jump onto her shoulder any minute now.
That's good. But I don't even know where I was going with that. Just that always throws me when somebody says that. I get to do this. I don't have to do this. I get to do this. And it's fun. I do have a question though for you. Why don't you like using your phone?
Because it's not very steady, and if I turn it landscape, I have to look off to the side for the camera instead of straight on.
So it gets hard.
Yeah. And I can see myself in my camera. I'm using the little Osmo Pocket most of the time, or the Action 5. I can't see myself. It's like, I forget I'm talking to the camera. And sometimes I have to edit out all the things that I'm like, squirrel distracted with, and then come back. And, so anyway, I think all of us know what we like in the creators we like to watch, but a lot of us are struggling to figure out what other people want from us that we can combine with what we want to create. And everybody is happy then, because it seems like 55 miles an hour down the freeway and just keep going with no stops, rather than going 90 and stopping at a rest stop. And you keep getting off. You just got to keep going. Just plug away, plug away.
Well, and there's a balance there too. You've probably heard people talk about, doubling down on things that are working. And, if you look back on my videos, I was doing Final Cut Pro for a while. That's what I edit on. It's what I love. It's what I enjoy. And I had a guy that was a coach that said, YouTube, this goes back a few years. He said, YouTube sees you as a Final Cut Pro channel. That's all you need to do. And I thought, ugh. I mean, I don't, I love Dylan, but I don't want to just talk about Final Cut. I want to talk about other stuff. In fact, this will be an exclusive. Okay. So one of the things that there's a good friend of mine, I've had him on the channel, Eddie Field Guide to DIY. I pestered him enough to finally get on YouTube, and he's having a blast. But, I've told him before that there is a concern of mine that I've leaned too much into sharing things about YouTube. I don't share growth hacks because I just think that they're that. I do think there's some things that you can do to give your channel a chance to grow. But again, there's no absolute, but I like talking about other things. And so, you asked earlier, or one of the questions was, personally and professionally, how does this help? I feel like I have a little bit more of, I don't want to say permission, the opportunity to do some other things. If I reviewed the book I read called Reconnected and what it meant to me, if I talk about social media, if I talk about, the Giving Tuesday and things like that. And I'm okay with however that video does. I do like when people subscribe. I do like the views, but I'm trying to stay in a point where it's not just about that. And that can be hard as you're trying to grow. I do think there's a balance in what do people want to see and what can you help them with, but also not losing yourself in the process as well. Because if you're just doing that audience can get fickle, or you may all of a sudden start doing something and it's just for the wrong motive or the money and stuff. Everybody has to make that decision themselves. But I totally get the struggle. Period. It's real.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting too, because as you say, the temptation could be like you start out just by being yourself, and how it lands is how it lands, right? And you just sort of make videos what you're interested in making. But then it could be tempting that people are like, oh, shiny object over there. And, oh, I should follow the way that person's doing that, or the way that person's doing that. And then maybe the essence and what people liked about you is like slowly leaving the room. One body part at a time.
And this is me.
Heart first. Yeah, this is you. This is you.
This is me. And there's people that don't like me, and that's fine. That's okay. I mean, if you also if you're trying to please everybody, it's a losing game. It just is. I mean, there's people that they don't like it, whatever. They're the armchair critic who's never uploaded a video, but yet they know everything. It's like, okay, fine, whatever.
They've got a cartoon avatar profile picture, no videos published. We've got Phil from What's Up Boomer. Kevin, what are your feelings about lives on YouTube today, presently?
Oh, I look, it drives me nuts that I don't live stream as much as I did. Not that I was, not like my friend Nick Nimmin, who goes live for hours every Saturday. But I love going live. It's with our lifestyle right now and our young son, it's just hard to sometimes schedule that. And I've had to cancel a couple and it drives me nuts. I think live is a fantastic way to go. In fact, there's a video I'm releasing next week, a little plug about all these types of videos you can do. And I talk about live streaming and that, not because I wrote a book. I did, shameless plug, but
yeah.
Live, I think live is continuing to grow. I do think, from what I can tell, YouTube is, it's almost like they didn't, but they got so fanatical about shorts, which I can't stand, that it's like, oh, they kind of forgot the live streamers over here. And you can always tell when a platform is bothered by another platform because they start reacting to that. With all the drama on Twitch right now, I think that's why YouTube is like going, oh, dang, that's right. We have live streaming. We had it first. Okay, so live streaming is great. They're adding more tools. It is a good way to create. I sometimes recommend it to people that I'm coaching if they've never created something, is just try live, at least get it out of your system and do it. But yeah, tons of opportunity, different ways of doing it, but give it a shot.
Yeah, totally.
I love your name too.
Dawn.
What's up, Boomer?
What's up, Boomer? It's a great name. Dawn, did you have a question that you wanted to ask while I look under our QQQs?
I want to apologize for being late. For one thing, I got the time mixed up. I was thinking it was going to be 3:30 my time. And then I came home and I turned on the computer and I saw you guys. I was like, oh my God.
That's okay.
You're
We'll
a
buy
good
the
girl.
snacks after, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time did you guys actually start?
Oh, about half an hour ago, but you're all good. You're all good, girl.
Okay. I'm just kind of in awe right now. I'm just listening to you guys. Kevin
Nice one.
He's big time. So yeah. I'm sure I've got a million questions, but my mind went blank.
No, that's all good. That's all good. All right. So we've got Dora from Explorer Dora. Kevin, if you could start your YouTube over, knowing what you know now, what videos would you be producing, or would it be just like your channel is?
Whew, that's a good question. I can tell you what I would do, and I talk about this in a couple of upcoming videos. Ironically, if I were starting over now, knowing what I know, I would only be using my iPhone. I love gear. I've probably sold more gear than I have. I've had, I don't know how many gimbals and use them once or twice and like, well, why did I buy that? I have a drone.
A bit fluffy, like.
Yeah. And, but I would use my phone. It is literally all you need. And I think sometimes the more gear you have it's an excuse not to do more. One of my favorite formats, which I also talk about in the video next week, is vlogging. Absolutely, positively love vlogging. That's why I absolutely can't stand Rob the Maritimer, because he's very good at vlogging. And I've blocked him, and I've told YouTube that I think he's a fake AI guy and to take him out.
Yep, we've tried to steal his channel and sabotage it.
Yeah. I would probably use my phone and do vlogs the majority of the time, period. I just like it. Now, sometimes I feel like what I'm doing around here is a vlog. I think there's loose definitions, but that's probably what I would do. I don't know that I would lean so much into tutorials. I like teaching, but I also like just sharing. And actually, one more thing. It's a good question. I don't know that I've done a good enough job of really sharing things I'm doing and trying. Not like I've got an exciting life, but I do enjoy folks that are a lot more, I don't know if I would say transparent, but just, it's like taking you on the journey. I don't know that I do that enough. The way I create now works for me and my lifestyle. It just is. But that's a great question. So
I do have a question from one of the subscribers here. She was wondering, do you think that YouTube suppresses videos made with certain apps?
No, I do. Well, okay. You talking about like TikTok? Yes, I do. And they've kind of said that, but they're not the only ones. If you take a YouTube short and put it somewhere else, you know, that's why when people get all excited about starting Facebook, and because I'm gonna promote my YouTube channel, I'm gonna drive people over there, and it's like, yeah, but here's the thing: no social media platform wants you to leave their platform. You know.
No.
So I don't have any proof of that, but I can tell you, as much as YouTube has invested in shorts, which was a result of TikTok, period, that they want you to use their app. They want you to use their editor and things like that. So will they suppress it? I don't know. But I don't know that they'd give it as much love if, you know, here's somebody just uploading their TikTok videos or their Instagram reels or using the YouTube one. I don't know. It's a good question. Can't 100% say for sure, but maybe a little.
And you don't do any other social media apart from YouTube. Is that right, Kevin? YouTube, and obviously your website, which is not social media.
Yeah, no. So I did a whole video on it. I won't waste your time here, but I decided last year to take a break from social media. And at the time I was on LinkedIn. I had a Facebook profile and page. I was on Instagram. I was even on Pinterest. I was on Twitter. I think that's what I had. And I just decided, I saw these guys out there just taking breaks, and I admired it. And I thought, every year at Christmas, my family, I travel, and I always go, what I call as I go dark. I don't do email. I don't. In fact, I will be publishing videos during Christmas, but I won't be on there doing anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just take a break. So I thought, you know what? What if I just took a break from social media? So it was last November, and I didn't know how long I would be off, and I ended up being off for 6 months. And when I mean off. I didn't get on social media. I logged out of everything. I haven't had social media on my phone in forever. And I remember logging back on just to see what was going on. And what happened is, as time went on, I missed it less and less, and realized how much time I was wasting just getting on, just checking and doing all this other mess. And so I ended up deleting my Instagram account, deleting my LinkedIn account, deleting my Facebook page. I kept X, Twitter, and I kept my Facebook profile, but I've hardly been on there since June. So I say all that to say, yes, I just use YouTube, but I had started doing that even before that, letting YouTube do YouTube. And so, you know, I will try and short answer things, but and social media to me has more and more become a waste of time.
Yeah.
So for me.
Yeah. Okay, we've got retirement is underrated. Can you talk about the idea of vlogging and what it's about and how to do it well? And even, what you mean by vlogging.
Well, I mean, vlogging
you mean
is
outside.
Yeah, and by the way, make sure you watch next week's video, because I talk a little bit about vlogging. Really, vlogging just stands for video blog. That's what it's about. So if you think of a blog, which can be many different things, vlogging is that. To me, the king of vlogging is Casey Neistat. It's just great. You can tell stories, but vlogging to me is kind of that slice of life. It's more kind of in the moment. They're not usually overproduced. When I say overproduced, like a ton of graphics and like this and things, you know. I think vlogging can be good for certain type of things. Traveling, when people travel, that's great. You know, there's a guy that does, he goes shopping at Costco and he does vlogs about it, you know, and it's just kind of like that more in the moment type of thing. How to do it well, I think you got to find your own style. You know, I think if you're talking about traveling and you're in scenic places, you definitely want to show something. If it's just you talking about the scenic places, nothing wrong with that. But as far as doing it well, I would just say making sure people can hear you and see your enjoyment if it's about that. And you know, if you've never tried it and you're curious, try it.
Definitely. Now, here's a great question, another great question for you. So, Catherine, my channel is directed towards seniors, but the things I talk about could be for anyone I wonder if YouTube doesn't know what to do with me.
Well, YouTube, so that's a great question. YouTube knows a lot more about your video than we think. When you're uploading your video, it's reading it like frame by frame. It knows everything in your video. It knows what you're talking about. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to spit out a transcript. That's pretty dang accurate. So it knows a lot about it. But YouTube also needs data to say, well, who might need this? Because again, YouTube is about the viewer. What might the viewer want? If you notice something about when I kind of leaned into the over 40, I was very overt. Is that the word? I was very overt about being over 40. If you look at a lot of videos for those several months, I'm saying things like, please, I'm saying things like, hey, if you're over 40, if you're over 40, hey, if you're over 40, if you're over 40. Now, I'm going to tell you something right here. Here's the second scoop. You ready? Lean in, everybody.
Okay.
If you look at a lot of what I was talking about, it could apply to a 30-year-old, to a 20-year-old. Yeah. But I directed it to over 40 because also talking about shared similarities in most families. As we are older, we may have families, or some of us have grandkids. I don't. I've been through job loss. So there's those things that all of a sudden people go, oh, yeah, I've experienced that. A 21-year-old is not going to know what it's like to, have raised 3 kids, been through the workforce and stuff like that. So I did also think about that. I share that to say I wanted to make sure that YouTube knew that I wanted to talk to people over 40. And I've shared this in a couple of videos that my demographics have radically changed because YouTube can be a younger platform to a degree. And I had a lot of younger people watching. Well, if you think about it, what was I doing? I was doing things about Final Cut Pro and, quirky things on YouTube and things. And then when it shifted, the majority of my audience now is 45 to 60. The core of it is really 35 to like 40, 40 to 55. So what I did is I kept leaning into that, finding that audience, and YouTube finally got it. But the video that I'm doing next week on the types of videos you could do, could a 20-year-old watch that? Sure. I can't prevent that. Could an 80-year-old watch that? Sure. Could a pro watch that? Absolutely. So, Catherine, what I would recommend to you is that make sure if your focus is talking to seniors, that you're looking at type topics that seniors might be interested in first and foremost. You can't stop somebody from watching your channel. My friend Justin Brown with Primal Video, they don't talk to gamers. But he said, we know we have gamers watching and gamers can learn something from us, but that's not our audience. So Catherine, I would say just really make sure that your topics, the way you're talking, the way you're presenting are something seniors might go, hey, yeah, I'm really interested in that. And the more you do that, the more you speak that, YouTube is going to pick up on that. And then the people that are interested might be interested in that. They're going to say, hey, here's a video right here that seems like what you might be interested in.
Yeah. So a couple of things I want to add to that to ask you, Kevin, is one, how do you signal that? Like, do you put the over 40 in your thumbnail text or your titles? Like, that's one question. And the second question is, it would be great to share what, one of your biggest learnings or your biggest learning about from that channel audit in 2020. Yeah. Because I think that could help people, right? Yeah. When they think I'm talking to everyone over a certain age or something.
Yeah. I mean, was it the right thing to do or not? I don't know. I was very, I did add over 40 a lot in titles for quite a while when I was talking. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey, now if you're over 40 and yada, 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 I would throw that out there, and so all of a sudden that gets into the, to the speech, gets into the transcript. I would add that into the description. I created a playlist once about, Over 40, start here, that type of thing. Because playlist, people may not know this, playlist can get picked up in search. So, you know, there's ways to title things, and some things were titled for search and some things weren't. So yeah, I did that for quite a while. And then I kind of started backing off of it a little, not trying to not reach people over 40. It's just like, I didn't feel like I needed to be so just in your face about it. If that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The thing from the audit that really stood out, I remember Rob Wilson saying this to me, and I won't try and use his accent, but he was like, you seem to be a nice guy and you seem to have a lot of stuff on your channel, but I have no idea what your channel's about. And that's always stuck with me, because you know what? He was right. You know, I had a video on there about when I was down in community vlogging. I was shooting a video with a nonprofit agency. Then I had a video about, you know, going to buy a coffee maker. And then I had a Final Cut Pro tutorial. And then I had this. And it is YouTube. You can do whatever, but it just didn't really stand for anything. And you know, titles were all over the place. And that was what kind of clicked. It was like, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to do this, what's it even about? I mean, I couldn't even explain what my channel was about. You know, and at the time of the audit, I had, you know, my channel art, I had some, what did Travis say? He goes, yeah, he said, that's the most like generic, you know, phrase I've ever seen.
Opened up Canva, it landed somewhere, you clicked on it.
Yeah. You know, but I did all the things. I asked people to subscribe because that's what you did. You know, I asked them earlier in the video, even though they got there, because that's what you do. And it's like, why would I even subscribe to my channel? I don't even know what you're about. So, you know, it's a good question, but the audit was the best thing that ever happened to me, because they told me some things I suspected, but a lot of things I needed to hear.
Do you remember how many subscribers you had at the time of that audit?
About 400 and something.
11. 400 and legs 11. That's exactly how many you had.
Dang.
Because then
I'm not playing you in a quiz about me, because I would lose.
You would lose.
I've got all the
man.
I've got all the work with Fox, the NBC, the ABC. Yeah, amazing. Okay, 24. I loved that one. Bill Jordan. That was really cool. Like your friend and your
Bill's my buddy.
Two guys talking about 24.
Yeah.
Literally, I've just discovered 24 this year, and me and my husband and our adult son, who's still living at home with us, we just binged the whole thing. Like,
one of the best shows still on TV. Yeah.
I know. Why did we even do that to ourselves? Like, how do you even sleep after that? That's the opposite of what I'm trying to do. I'm reading Stoic stuff and getting into Ryan Holiday and journaling again, and I'm like getting my adrenaline up far too much.
Can I share a story?
Please do.
So when I was a creative director at Fox, we would get shows in advance. Sometimes we would get the pilots way in advance, you know, so like they'll shoot a pilot of a show. We'd get it months in advance. They want us to see what it's about so we can talk about it and things like that. But then special episodes we'd get ahead of time. And I don't know if anybody remembers this, but the series finale of 24, because it came back later and did the Live Another Day, but the series finale of 24 was the same weekend that Lost ended its run. And the Lost finale was on Sunday night, and the series finale of 24 was on Monday night. Well, Fox sends me the final 2 episodes, and I get it like the weekend, the week before. And so that Friday night before, I tell my wife, this is what, you know, I don't care if we give the kids NyQuil and they go to bed early. We didn't, by the way. We're watching this tonight. So we watch Friday night. We watch how it ends. And then Sunday night, we watch Lost, how it ends. Well, I get to work Monday. I can't even tell my team. I can't talk about it because it hadn't aired that night. And I'm like, oh, man, it's going to be good. So we watched it again that night like we hadn't watched it. But anyway, I don't know. I just always thought that was funny. It's like, oh, I got to see something before anybody else.
I know. Yeah.
And then I couldn't talk about it
the whole day. Yeah. Yeah. The movie, is that what's coming out? Is that the latest update?
What I have read is that Kiefer, I say that like we're friends.
I know, Kiefer, yeah.
Kiefer and is it Howard Gordon, one of the front showrunners, that they have been working on something that, of course, I guess Kiefer has to give it a green light, because they tried to do a season without Kiefer and it was horrible, absolutely horrible.
Why would you?
And I personally think they'll do another probably limited run. Now, the way things are going on streaming, I could see though it going on streaming. You know, it may not be on broadcast. Would Apple pick it up? Would Peacock? I don't know, because that Hulu, that's kind of the way it goes. But yeah, I think there's a good chance we'll probably see something else. I hope.
Oh my goodness. Why do you think that show, why do you love it so much? Why do you think it's so successful?
Well, if you think about it, it did something that had never been done on television, because if you haven't watched 24, every episode was done in real time in an hour. So every season was 24 episodes, because, season 2 might start like at 11 p.m., but by the time it got to the end of the season, it would be clicking down to 11 p.m. again. So if you ever go watch 24, watch carefully when they go to a commercial break. Even if you're watching on streaming and there's no breaks in there, they even account for the commercial breaks in the clock ticking down and ticking back up. There was nothing like that ever done.
I know.
And
like we kept on talking about that as we were watching it and understanding it all. We just kept on remarking on that.
You had these different storylines happening at the same time in there, which you have to do from a story perspective. And they would be doing the split screen. So why Jack Bauer was doing something over here, Chloe would be doing something here, and there was the terrorist over here. And it was so good. And, they did a lot of things. People got killed off the show that you wouldn't expect. The story, I mean, the writing was phenomenal. Kiefer was phenomenal. It was kind of ahead of its time, I think.
Ahead of its time, because do you know what? I have to say, I literally love the most up-to-date things mostly. Like I'll just go, like if something comes over Netflix or something, I'm always like, it needs to be good. I want it to be good if it's older. But otherwise, I'm kind of hoping that, like they've done all the learning and that they're using all the best storytelling techniques and everything, right? But for it to be that age, way ahead of its time.
Yep.
Timeless, evergreen, timeless.
Yep.
Rhonda, do you have any questions while I just make some space?
Yes, of course I do.
Great.
Being a counselor, you kind of alluded to when we started that, the video that went viral and that how that second guessing and all that mind talk we do. But you did the video on Giving Tuesday, and it was a very vulnerable piece about the Make-A-Wish and talking about your son and all of that. When you do videos like that, do you, after you upload it and everything, and then you think, did you second guess or doubt yourself or have that emotional backlash? How do you, what do you do with that? Because I've had that happen, and I thought about that when I saw that, and I thought, oh, that's so vulnerable, but it was so good.
I appreciate that. It's funny. I've had second thoughts on other videos, but never ones like that. It's just somebody asked earlier if what would I want somebody to take away from my videos. I would be honored if somebody remembered an organization I talked about, like Make-A-Wish or Operation Christmas Child or something like that, far more than whatever I ever taught them about YouTube. I mean, honestly, that'd be the thing, and again, a man of faith. If somebody remembers a verse I drop, that far better than anything I've done. But no, doing that video, I actually couldn't get the video up fast enough because I wanted to do it and I wanted to do it and I wanted to share it, because those are things I've experienced that, again, when your platform gets a little bigger, then does it have more impact for something like that?
Yeah.
But to shift though, there's a video I did not too long ago. I think it was like something like, do you need a new iPhone or something like that? And here's the irony.
That's right. Do you really need a new iPhone? Yeah.
Here's the irony. I just kind of felt it that day. I just felt it. I got tired of seeing all these videos about, here's the new iPhone.
Get it.
I love iPhone. And I thought, so I just did it. And as soon as it was over, I uploaded it, and I'm like, so I scheduled it, and I took it to private, and I thought, I'm not going to run that thing. And I was talking to a friend of mine. He was like, why? And I said, I don't know. So again, and so that morning I watched it again back, and I'm like, it sounds so arrogant. I'm like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So, and then I thought, okay, Kevin, what do you tell people? Put it out there. I'm like, okay, this is me having a conversation with myself. It's very boring.
Yeah.
And so I thought, just publish it. So yeah, there are those videos occasionally where it's like, I always hope, first of all, when people go, I don't get any views. I'm sorry. I haven't seen the video that's been up any amount of time that's never had at least one view. So
that's right.
That. And, you may not get as many views as you think you deserve or want. I don't deserve any views. I don't deserve subscribers. I'm always honored when somebody watches it and comments. But I do put things up there, and there's ones that it's like, oh, well, we'll see what this one does. And that one maybe does well. And the other one, you put more time into it. And it's like, well, that's a dud. Or those that take time. I've done a couple of videos on that were flatline for like a year, and all of a sudden, boop, pops up. I don't know. I didn't change anything. So, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but the Giving Tuesday to me was like, why would I not do that? And I temper my expectations because I know it's timely, but it's also going to live there. And you know what? If somebody finds it 6 months from now, those organizations are still in need of people. And but no, that one doesn't bother me at all. I have uploaded stuff and then it's published and I'm like, oh, dang it. I left a point out, or I forgot to say that. And you know what? That's an opportunity for another video. I don't even beat myself up now. It's like, whatever. Just do another video.
Good point.
Yeah.
Get over yourself, Kevin. Do another video.
Yeah, that's right. The fastest way to get over yourself is just to make another dang video.
That's right. No, the fastest way to get over yourself is put your videos out there for the public to see. That's how you get over yourself. Really
Yeah.
You think you're all that? Yeah, just publish a video.
Yeah, I know. You think you're all that? Yeah.
Publish
you think
video.
You'll watch some Robert Greene and he'll tell you you're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dawn, did you have a question?
Yeah, I did. Sheila from, I don't know if you guys watch her. She has a great channel, Laugh Lines and Life Lessons. She's amazing. She's got a great channel. But she had this question and she said, it feels like the larger she gets, the more clicky YouTube becomes. Do you think YouTube has clicks? And if you're not a cool kid like you, Kevin, is there still space here?
Okay, first of all, I ain't a cool kid. I didn't hang with the cool kids either in school. I got beat up by the cool kids. Can it be clicky? Yeah, it can be. I mean, but what is it? I think there are some creators. So what I'm going to say is I also try not to focus on, but I do think there are some creators that seem to be the go-to for anything. For whatever reason, I don't know. Some people just latch onto other people. But as far as clicky, no. I mean, I would say the majority of, I hate to say my viewers, I don't own them, but you know what I'm getting at. My viewers, I may never meet. But, if somebody feels like I'm talking to them, then I feel like I'm kind of doing my job and connecting because that's what I'm trying to do. Like right now, I'm looking at you, talking to you. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't worry about stuff like that because you can't control it. You can't control who's going to watch your videos, period. You can try and target it down, but I'm in a Discord group with a few people, like I mentioned, Dylan Bates. We all edit on Final Cut. They're great guys. There's some guys in there with some mega huge channels, and there's some guys in there with smaller channels, and we're just in there to support each other. Period. Nice. So I don't know. I that may not answered it, but if there's a click, I'm not in it. How about that?
Okay, one more. Can I ask one more, Karen?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Jump in, guys.
This one's from Diana, and she has a lovely channel also, Lonely in Truth. And she's still building her channel, but she's got close to 4,000.
Oh,
But
cool. That's great.
Yeah, she's really coming up. She said that she realized that her shorts didn't count towards monetizing. She was a bit crushed, and she feels like she's starting all over. She's trying to do long form now, but she fears that her subs got used to doing shorts. Did she delay her growth by starting out doing shorts and then transferring over to doing long form?
Well, you know, you have to go back to why you want to do
Because that's
YouTube.
what grew her channel, was the short.
Well, but here, okay, so I don't like shorts, period. I just don't like. I like wearing shorts in the summer, cargo shorts, but I don't like watching shorts or creating shorts. I had them on my channel. I didn't delete them, as I said in the title, but I unlisted them all. I don't ever plan to bring them back. For me, shorts do nothing to build community. They do nothing to build any type of connection. They're all about the view. And YouTube, even several months ago, changed the way the views are calculated, where I joke you can almost get a view now. And there's two different views now. If you go into your shorts analysis and your analytics, you know, there's like the casual view, and then there's the real view, and it's like, what? And so you have to decide what you know, if you're just after views and subscribers, that's it. Shorts can help you with that, but you're probably not going to build deep connections. And if you don't care about that, that's fine. So did she delay her growth? Well, I mean, as much as YouTube wants to tell us and get us to believe, there's very little correlation between short viewers and long viewers. Doesn't mean that people don't watch shorts and longs, but most don't. They just don't. And I think there are maybe some ways to do shorts. I don't want to say the right way to do it, but you know, what I would say to her is that if she needs to figure out, I think ultimately what she wants to do her channel for, what she wants it for, you know, and then let that kind of drive it, not because, you know, getting a lot of views and subs can be very intoxicating, but it may not lead to anything. And she may do more longs now, and it's like, wow, I've got fewer people watching, but it may be the right people, you know. So I think you have to make that decision. I just don't think they commingle like YouTube wants us to believe. So
yeah, because every platform wants to have a bite of every single pie, don't they?
Yeah.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I didn't mean.
No, you go. No, you
well,
go.
You know, experimenting should never be looked at like I made a mistake. You know, we'll go back. Somebody asked about live streaming. You know, well, I can't guarantee you live streaming is going to work, but just try live streaming. Maybe you go and like, I hate it. Ooh, I like that. Try shorts. Try podcast. Try it all. At any point, one of my favorite things that Colin Samir, one of my favorite channels, said when they hit 100,000 subscribers, they still didn't know what they wanted to do. And I'm like, okay, then there's hope for me.
Yeah. What do I want to do? Who do I want to be when I grow up?
Yeah, I mean, I've launched things that didn't work. It's you know, and in television, you know, we would quote fail miserably on things that we put a lot of money behind. Fox would launch shows that would last 1 or 2 episodes. Yeah. You just never know till you try. So it's not always about failing. It's about learning something about yourself, about the audience, whatever.
Yeah. Focus on the inputs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We have got a couple of rapid fire final questions for you, Kevin.
And by the way, just because I don't like shorts, if you like shorts, that's great for you. I'll pray for
totally.
you.
Yeah, totally right. Yeah. Literally, I thought to myself, should I ask you about shorts? And I thought, no, because we might have a bun fight in the chat.
No, that's fine. Look, that's fine. I stand by what I believe and what I think about them. And
yes. All right. What's your favorite coffee?
Dark, strong, black.
Okay, so that's for anyone. If you ever bump into Kevin, remember dark, strong, black coffee is what he likes. If you could have a gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say and why?
I hate shorts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Bart Simpson, shorts.
It would say something like, oh man, a giant billboard anywhere.
Well, what about, I've got an idea.
I'd probably say something like, hey, don't blame me. I was born with this face. I don't know.
Exactly. And hair. Yeah. Because you love to talk about your hair. What about your bumper, when you were talking about the bumper sticker stuff before, the fastest way to not enjoy something is if it becomes a job. I loved that when I heard you say that in one of your videos. Okay. What is an unusual habit or absurd thing that you love?
Oh man. I've laughed a lot at funerals, which is not cool.
But everyone doesn't want to do that, but it happens.
No,
it
you
feels so
just think of
good.
something that's in the moment, and it's like, okay, I probably shouldn't be laughing about this, but absurd things I enjoy. Okay, well, I can tell you one of my favorite sandwiches that still to this day just grosses my wife out. I love peanut butter and mustard sandwiches.
Ugh.
Ew.
There you go. Yeah, we just lost half the audience. Good night, everybody.
Okay, people are currently throwing up in their mouths between the ooze.
And
okay.
and here's the thing: people will say that's horrible. Paula, I saw your reaction first. Have you tried it?
Paula, you're knocking it, Paula.
Yeah.
You haven't even
Have you tried it? No.
I have not tried it, nor do I plan to.
Yeah. And I recently just discovered yogurt with peanut butter is really good too.
Wow.
That I would eat.
There you go.
What is that?
Yogurt with peanut butter. I've read about it somewhere, and I'm like, I'll try it. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty good.
Okay.
There's also peanut butter and onions and peanut butter and pickles.
Okay, now see, that's just gross. Somebody mute Eva's mic. I mean, that's just
yeah. Moderation.
Ask your bedtime. Go on. Go.
Yeah. Peanut butter and anything, right? Peanut butter is life. What is one thing that you're currently excited about? It might be one of the things that you're talking to your buddies in the Discord group about that you don't tell us.
What I'm really excited about.
Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, gonna see family in a few weeks, so I'm excited about that. I don't know that I would put this in an excitement part, but as of next week, at the end of the week, I will have videos. This is very unusual for me, posted all the way through the end of January.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's I just finished wrapping one right before this. That will be the longest video I've ever done. It's a little over 2 hours. It's a compilation of things. So I'll be curious to see how that does. Excited, I don't know. I mean, I'm there.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
that's exciting.
I want to lean more into things that I'm creating next year. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
So
everybody, that is a clue. This is a little flag when we hear a big YouTuber with a lot of subscribers say that they're doing something, especially if they haven't tried it before. That's a clue. So, but people are talking about these compilation style videos, right? So it's fun to see you doing one.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and the funny thing is, it started, the rough cut on it was 4.5 hours. And when I finally added the little finishing touches, I think it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. That would have been a bit of a slog editing that.
Right.
But you love editing.
Yeah, you do. I mean, and maybe at some point, if people are curious, I can show how I did it. It wasn't that hard. It was just trying to wrap my head around it. So I started in Apple Notes, writing out all the videos I thought I would put in there, what the order might be. And then in Final Cut Pro, I just dropped them all in there. And then I was like, okay, does this one really fit? Does this one really fit? And I would actually go to my wife and say, okay, look, this is what it's about. Do I even need that one in there? And she said, probably not. And even today, what I did today is I shot the open and the close for the video, and then all the introductions and the outros for each video. So between each video, I'll pop in and go, okay, well, here's something else, and here's the next lesson, right? And while I was shooting, I realized I was going to change the order of a couple of the videos. And let me just tell you, AI ain't going to tell you that. That's experience, and that's something you get over time of doing it, And was it the right thing to do? I don't know. In my experience, it flows better if you literally were going to watch the thing from start to finish.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I reckon that would be an amazing video idea. No, I think that's an amazing video idea, actually, if you ever wanted to. Because people talk about making these compilation videos, but you can't, but I'm thinking, well, I can't just, what does that look like? How do I even begin to think about that, right? Yeah. So it'd be amazing to hear your perspective on that and how you created yours.
Yeah.
to
Well,
help
and
us.
I didn't want it to just be videos that were already on my channel just slapped together. So I actually cut some things out of the videos, cut some of the intros, cut out of the videos earlier. But I set each one up because the thing is, we assume everybody watches everything we do, and they don't. They
No.
just don't. I think Marquez Brownlee, one of the biggest tech YouTubers on the planet, said once, I think in an interview with Colin Samir, he goes into every video as if somebody has never seen him before. And if you want to see how big his channel is, look up Marquez Brownlee.
Yeah, 20 million or something, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's insane. And it's like, that's a good reminder. So, we think everybody sees everything, and they don't. And 24, I'll watch every episode again. It ends the same way, but I still like it. So,
Yeah. Hey, do you think you'll ever do one of those? Hi. Just letting you know that there are 75% of you that are not subscribed to my channel.
No.
And it would really help the channel. People are doing that everywhere now.
No. And and it's amazing. There are some mega huge channels. Like there's a channel called Diary of a
That's it.
CEO.
He started it, and everyone's following now.
And it's like, the thing is, people subscribe for different reasons. I subscribe for different reasons. I've never subscribed if somebody has asked me to subscribe. Now, with the exception, I've had some friends launch a channel and I've subscribed, right? Which is probably not the smart thing to do. But just asking them to subscribe, so all of a sudden it's like, well, I mean, okay, but is that really my role? That
I know.
Yeah.
Help the channel, and you'll get more content like this and everything. And I don't know. You know what I mean?
I see it as groveling.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, just the grind, man. Just like, just wipe your mouth. Okay, here we go. Final rapid fire question for you, Kevin. If you could choose any role in the new movie adaptation, let's say it's going to be a movie, of 24, either behind the scenes or in front of the camera, what would it be if you could choose any role in that movie?
Like if I was going to be on it?
Yeah. On it or part of the writing production team. If you had to pick a role, what would it be?
You know what? I would love to shoot the behind the scenes stuff.
Okay.
Why? Yeah, they used to have a term in television. I forgot what it was called. And even movies. So they would shoot these press kits, and it would always be the behind the scenes and clips like that. Because to me, I would get the best of both worlds. Yeah. I'd be in on the production, which I just love, and I would be able to shoot something that's a little different, and Kiefer wanted to hang, that'd be okay.
That'd be okay. You'll clear some schedule out. Amazing. Thank you so much, Kevin. We so appreciate your time. People have been so looking forward to this, and I'm grateful for everyone in the chat today. And just thank you, Kevin, for your very generous time today.
No, thank you guys for having me on. I hope I said something that made some sense. So.
You absolutely did.
So thanks.
So nice
Appreciate
to meet you. And we'll see you on your videos. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Great wave.
Thank you. Pageant wave.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace.